Sup shitters, my name is Logan aka Spuddens, and welcome to this SP Patrons video, where today I'm making a custom monthly review for Himahoable. Sup Himahoable, how you doing? You doing alright? Hopefully you're having a great day. I'm okay. I've been feeling a bit sick recently, but I wanted to make sure that you got your video on time. So it's great. We're gonna be switching over to here, where we have your choice for this month, which is Evanescence, My Immortal. And wow, it's got like 800 million views. That's so cool. This is a cool choice. I really like Evanescence. I've seen them live. I think they make fantastic music. I would even suggest that they're potentially underrated, which seems ridiculous considering how successful they were. But we're going to listen through this track from start to finish. We're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Ah, that famous piano line. It's such a cool way of starting a song, you know? Really clever.
I'm so tired of being here, suppressed by all my childish fears. And if you have to leave, I wish that you would just leave. Your presence still lingers here, and it won't leave me alone.
Yeah, she's singing really well here. I love her vocal technique. It's coming through really nice and clearly. She's singing quietly, but she still has a real full-bodied sound to it. You know, when I hear a musician like this, I think she's a fantastic singer, but is she singing in a way that's appropriate for the song? And I think absolutely Amy Lee is. You know, you've got these lovely piano parts, and I think the strings are coming in soon as well. And these different parts of the composition match each other incredibly well.
These wounds won't seem to heal. This pain is just too real. There's just too much that time cannot.
Lovely backing vocals as well here.
When you cried, I'd wipe away all of your tears. When you'd scream, I'd fight away all of your fears. And I held.
Now, the cool thing about this chorus is that the way that the piano is phrased is suited specifically for Amy Lee's vocals. You know, the reason I say that is that you don't have the piano parts kind of continuing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You don't have them continuing to change every 2 beats. She'll have the arpeggio that she's playing on the guitar change at like the 8th note on the end of the 2nd beat. And it's just little things like that which make it unique, because we've had the previous parts of the verse and bridge behave really well in equal amounts of bars. So it's cool. Still very, very soft. You've got hints of what's going to come later on, but Amy Lee is still like tonally and in terms of the approach, is still trying to keep things relatively low key. We'll obviously get the build with the guitars and drums later on, but at this point in time, I think it's thoroughly appropriate to the situation. Going back to that refrain there, excellent choice.
You used to captivate me by your resonating light. Now I'm bound by the life you left behind. Your face, it haunts my once pleasant dreams. Your voice, it chased away all the sanity in me. These wounds won't seem to heal.
she has a, she kind of increases the volume as she goes along. And it's a cool way to grab the listener's attention. She's just not giving you all the notes at once. She's making you work for it a little bit.
This pain is just too real. There's just too much that time cannot
Getting a little bit warmer with it overall harmony.
cried, I wipe away all of your tears. When you scream, I fight away all of your fears. And I held your hand through all of these years, but you still have all of me.
So it sounds like she was thoroughly supportive of this person, but she just wants her life back, you know? It just, things did not go well in the end. And it's something that's difficult for her to cope with. She can see him in her dreams and all that, you know, like the situation did not end well, and it's something that she's struggling to process.
It's so hard to tell
Interlude section.
myself that you're gone, but though you're still with me, I've been alone all
Before we go on to this, that was such a cool transition there, you know. We had the build up with the vocals, and she's saying how even though he's still there, she feels alone because the love or the whatever it's not reciprocated. It's not going both ways. And you just have this realization that comes in then, and then the guitar, the bass, the drums join in for the solo section. And that's the final bit of extra energy that you need to fully commit to that heavy rock metal tone that we get from Evanescence. It's really fantastic songwriting. And there's this little cool response there with a ba 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 boom, you know, on the piano at the end of that part, in between that and this final line. Excellent song. Fantastic, dude. Great. It's so clever, dude. And putting that melody up an octave, letting it sort of stay up in the air. Oh, we get that she's sitting alone on the rooftop alone. That's terrible. It's awful. Makes me very sad. Honestly, like to watch this. I can only assume that Amy Lee was struggling at the time with stuff. And like Evanescence were huge when the song came out. They were massive, and I cannot tell you Hemahoabo. I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate the suggestion from you, because it allows me to revisit like the one song from Evanescence that I never really saw the music video for this. I never saw the music video for My Immortal by Evanescence. I obviously saw Bring Me Back to Life or something like that, or something along those lines, and other ones. It's just so refreshing. I feel like the song, because this is the conclusion to this review. The story is about like someone who is present but not what they need, and there's just this dissonance in the relationship. And Amy Lee has given them the role, but it hasn't been reciprocated, it hasn't been returned, as I mentioned before. And this track is just talking about that that situation that Amy's in, and it's poetic, and I love the piano and the strings there for that bit of extra emotional depth there, but it's not done in a way that is clumsy or cheesy or disingenuous. It's genuinely it lifts the mood, the song. It helps to ascend it, to really elevate it. And the structure of this track is a traditional, verse bridge chorus, and then there was an interlude and a little solo bit with a double outro and or like a single outro. It's great stuff. I really don't have any massive complaints about what I heard from Evanescence with I Immortal. Amy Lee is a great singer. I know. I mean, I've heard her live. I prefer her in the studio to her singing live, but here her voice just suits the mood so much. I'm loving the piano lines that were played, how they interacted, how they kept the attention so long, even as just a more minimalist arrangement with like the piano and the vocals in comparison to a lot of other Evanescence's stuff with the guitars, the bass, and drums. That kind of goth rock vibe was great, man. It was dope. Piano lines were articulate and colorful and creative and matched the mood of the vocals very well, but they also played nicely with the guitar and bass drum parts later on. I feel as though Evanescence, they have something special going on with the way that they tell a story, or at the very least that they managed to combine those hard rock elements to something that was more palatable to a wider audience. Part of it was the time where it came out. The whole emo alt rock movement was going really strong in like the mid 2000s when this came out, so it was absolutely the time for it, and I absolutely adore that. But also, I think that the reason this song has got 800 million play views is because of the quality of the performance, the timelessness of the subject, as well as the tone of the recording itself, and the fact that people really appreciated what Evanescence did. Think that it's testament to the other musicians involved, because I think Amy did the piano parts, but also the guitarist, bass, drummers, etc. Later on, they pocketed, they did what they needed to do to support the overall story and the vibe, and they handled it incredibly well. And the production quality was like professional. There was nothing you needed to change about it. It sounded like it was released by a major label, which I think it was. I think that this was released by who was this released by? Oh, Wind Up Records LLC. So it was actually a smaller label. Oh no, licensed to YouTube by UMG on behalf of the Bicycle Music Company. So yeah, they had a lot of labels involved at that point, but initially it was by Wind Up Records, which were like an indie label at that point. But Hema Hoabo, thank you very much for your suggestion. I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed going for a trip down memory lane. Hopefully you enjoyed the review too. Hopefully you're doing well. Please do have a fantastic weekend. If you enjoyed this review, please do go show Evanescence some love via their various social medias and their YouTube page. Stay cool and stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on. And I hope you have a fantastic time with the future music reviews you want me to do through Patreon. I know this is your first DSP Patrons video, Hema Hoabo, but I'm happy to review other stuff you like, so I'll be looking forward to what else you send through my way in May. I'll see you in the next SP live stream or something like that, and I'll catch you. Yeah, have fun. Spider hands out.